I'm live. Happy Black History Month. See, I got my black girl earrings on. My black girl earrings on for Black History Month. Happy February 1st, the first day of Black History. I'm going to give y'all some time to come on in here. I'm on here super late. Um, yeah, today was a struggle. I almost didn't make it, y'all. I almost didn't make it. How are y'all doing? Because I am struggling. I am. Hopefully, y'all are here and not out in the club. Because usually I go live during the day, around like 2. The last time I think I went live like around 4 p.m. ish. But today was one of them days. It's if you live in the United States of foolery, um, yeah, it's a lot going on, and emotionally I have been drained. So it took a lot for me to just get on here. And you know what? The Lord put on my heart 2025 is the year to thrive. And although chaos and tragedy is like consuming us right now, I have to steadfast onto that word the Lord gave me, because I'm like, what? It's a lot. So it took me a little minute to get on live tonight, because it has been a week. Thoughts and prayers to the families that were impacted by the plane crash that happened over the Potomac River, the Ronald Reagan um, airport. And then there was another one in Philly. I'm like, if we are not living in end times, but it's a lot of just scary stuff that is going on. And emotionally, I have been drained, and it took me a lot to get on here this evening. But I am here, and so are you. Welcome, Chris Lynn. Hi, happy Saturday. I'm here to get tips to finally start my channel. I appreciate you. Prayers for everyone. Yes, yes, yes. I hope I'm saying your name right, Chrislyn. Yes. So my weekly goal check-ins I do as an accountability measure to help hold ourselves accountable, because every year people set goals of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be have all these amazing goals set out, and statistics show by like the end of week 2 of January they've all gone to the wayside. And so I done a vision board party with a group of my friends and my family, and I'm like, okay, we're going to do quarterly check-ins. And then I did a little bit more research, and it was just like, to increase your probability of actually achieving what you said you were going to do, you need to check in weekly. So I've made a commitment to check in every week, to do a goal check-in with y'all, so we can hold each other accountable. And if a YouTube channel is one of your goals, this is the place to be, because we are going to, be strategic in our actions and putting onto paper what we want to do, so it can turn into a reality. So I'm happy you are here this evening, and let me know in the chat where y'all are coming from, where y'all popping up from. But yeah, happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. So much is going on, but it's like, you know what? I'm going to show up. I'm going to be here, and we're gonna make it happen. So I do want to catch up with y'all, because we are at the end of January, so we're 1 month down in 2025 already. That month is gone. It went bye-bye. It's out of here, and we are into February. And so what I have done this year is quarterly planning. And so instead of setting my goals for the whole year, I have quarterly goals. So that way I'm a lot more intentional, and I have a lot more what's what I'm looking for, accountability to actually make that goal happen, because the deadline is much shorter, a 3-month deadline versus a 12-month deadline. So I'm going to review with y'all my Q1 goals and the progress I've made in the first month, and the progress I didn't make, but there's still time to get it right. And then I am hoping, if we get enough people on here and if I can figure it out, I want to pull you all up on stage with me, so you can kind of share, what you're doing and what progress have you made thus far this year. All the way from Tennessee. Okay, welcome. I've never been to Tennessee. How are y'all over there? So what I'm going to do first, last week I finally completed my goal vision board. for the quarter, and I told myself, like, before January is out, this board is going to be done. So now it is on my desktop, it is on my iPad. I still need to upload it on my phone, but I'm going to show y'all my quarterly vision board, because remember, we're doing quarterly planning versus yearly planning. So I'm going to pull up, let me share my screen with y'all. And then we're going to go into like a thorough breakdown of how I'm looking at my goals and setting up my action steps to make into a reality. And you can use this same format if this is your first time hopping on here. So let me just share my vision board with y'all, because it is finally done. So let's go here, share. Okay, I think y'all can see it. Let me check. Okay, y'all can see it. All right. So, last year, my word for 2024 was the year of more. This year for 2025 is the year of thrive. Clearly, I like to rhyme for whatever reason. But 2025 is the year to thrive. And so I have my word thrive there. And then the words that kind of came to me for this year: consistency. Before 2025 even came around the corner, consistency was something that the Lord was putting on my spirit very, very heavy. Like, you need to be consistent in multiple areas of your life. And so that is definitely what I have in regards to the theme, in regards to like the words that are going to move me into action. I have consistency, commitment, and community. I am being super, super intentional about building my community out here in the, YouTube streets, but also in my personal life. And we'll get into that a little bit later. For those of you who weren't here for my previous goals, I do have some goals set down about expanding my relationships. And so building community is going to be essential for me this year. So the 3 goals that I have for this quarter is to increase. Let me bring this down a little bit. Be more intentional about my prayer time and reading the scripture more. I want to reach 10,000 subscribers, and I want to obtain my LMSW, which is a licensed master level social worker. And if you weren't here last week, that goal is already completed. So 1 down, 2 to go. And so this is my vision board that I have right now. By the end of March of this year, I am praying that I have all of these down and completed before the first quarter is out. I have a total of 12 goals. And then I also have some goals that are year round, which we'll get into as I'll show into my board. But these are the goals that I have set out for the quarter. So finally got my vision board up and running. Okay, so now I want to show y'all, I've done a very much more thorough breakdown of how I structure my goals, so that way I can kind of see my progress. And because we are done with month 1, January, I can reflect and see like, okay, this is what I said I wanted to do, how much of the action did I actually take, and where am I getting closer to that achievement. So let me share my screen one more again. And this is on Google Doc. I love Google Doc. It's super, super free and accessible to us all. So you definitely want to use that. So let's get into it here. All righty, let me make sure that is showing. So for those of you who are new here, one of the questions that I asked myself in regards to setting my goals for the new year is, what needs to happen for 2025 to be the best year yet? And I just kind of brain dump like, okay, by the end of 2025 in December 30th, when everything is all said and done and we're kind of going into the next year, what is all the things that I want to accomplish where I just be like, yes, this was that year for your girl. And so I just kind of did a brain dump, and I think I came up with a total of about 12 things. So with those 12 things, I began to organize and put them in a way like, okay, what am I going to focus on first? And so these are the 3 goals that I decided to focus on the first quarter, January through March. And ideally, you don't want to have more than 2 to 3 goals that you're working on at a time, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself and then kind of have, just your thoughts and energy all over the place. You want to be very, very intentional. So the 3 goals that I had was to obtain my LMSW, which is completed. And then the next was to grow my 10 subscribers on the YouTube channel. That is in progress. And then you can see here, I have like wealth, spirituality. And I talked about this in the previous weeks. You want to theme your goals on what area of your life that these goals are focusing on to make sure you have a balance. For example, if I have all wealth goals, me just kind of, going after money or increasing my net worth, but I'm ignoring my spirituality and my, relationship goals, there's an imbalance there. So as I was like coming up with all the goals that I wanted to achieve this year, I wanted to make sure that I had a mixture of everything to keep a balanced approach. So that's why you see that kind of bolded there, the wealth or just whatever category that goal falls under. And then under each goal, there are 3 things that I put under there. My starting point, which is A, B is the difference, and C is the action. So for my LMSW, I have my starting point as I don't have a license, but I've started to get my supervision hours are accumulating with my current employer. The difference is I need to test within 6 days. That was around the time that I had set this goal, and I need to follow a study schedule. And then the action is to develop the study schedule and follow it. Now, my study schedule was a little bit rocky. There was like months before that I was studying, but then when I moved, I don't know if some of you may have found me from my, my rent is doubling video, and I'm scared. When I had to move in my new place that I am at now, it just threw my studying schedule just all off. And so when it got close to the test, I was kind of nervous about that, but I had studied like months before, and your girl was fine, clearly. So that is just an example. When you are setting your goals, you're not just saying this, very audacious goal, but you don't have a plan in regards to, okay, this is my starting point, and this is the difference from me getting to the end of that goal, and what is the action in between to help close that gap from incomplete to complete. And I've done that with each of my goals here for this quarter. So we have, I've attained that, growing to 10K subscribers. Right now, we're clearly not at 10K, so that is in progress. And then read the Bible and, pray more, which is very important to me, to my spiritual walk with God. I also have some year-round goals. So I do want to read at least 6 books this year. And I have not started this yet, so I'm already in down a month, and I told myself at minimum, as you can see is my breakdown here. The difference is I want to read at least 2 books a quarter, and I forgot to grab my books, but I do have the total of 6 books that I really want to read this year. And there was one that kind of got added a little bit last minute, just due to an interaction that I had with a coworker at my job, and I'm like, you know what, this book's actually seemed really good, and she let me borrow it, so I kind of added it to my list. So I need to, before the quarter is out, before the end of March, I know at minimum I need to read 2 books. And then the action is I need to identify 1 self-development book and 1 fiction book to read each quarter. So whatever self-development book, if I'm going to read a self-development book, my next book need to be, something that's not necessarily like focusing on like developing or learning something, but just kind of like a mental escape of fiction. And my fiction that I love is like Black, love stories. So I'm going to be doing a lot of rom-com books. So that is the goal, like a focus, a book that I'm going to learn, and then a book where I'm just going to kind of read and have some fun. And then we have the Save 10K, which is there. And, I have my starting point at the start of this goal was a little over $300. And then the difference is like $9,600. And so I have a couple of action items there in regards to like obtaining a new job, automatic payments, increasing my savings amount to $350 a month to $500 a month, and then a minimum needed to save every quarter is about $2,414 if I want to achieve this by the end of the year, right? So at minimum, by the end of the quarter, I need to have deposit at least $2,414. Okay, so let's get into where I am in regards to the progress of all of these goals, and I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. Okay, maybe that's too large. Let's do 125. Okay, well, maybe 150 isn't bad. Okay, about 150. Okay, so January recap. Obtain my LMSW. I still need to post the vlog that I did leading up to test day and after test day. So LMSW obtained. Finito, complete. For my goal to 10K subscribers, I cannot control how many people are going to subscribe to my channel, but what I can control is how many videos I'm going to post. And my goal was to post at least 12 videos a month. I posted 9 out of the 12. 3 videos a week is a challenge. I used to do 1 video a week. And then when I lost my monetization and had to get remonetized, I started pushing out a lot more content. And after doing some research, some of the big channels at minimum, they're doing 3 videos a week. That has been difficult for me to kind of manage. I'm really thinking about pushing it to 2, maybe even going back to 1, because this content creation ain't for the weak. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. Like, there is a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes of recording a video, editing a video, and posting a video. And sometimes, depending on the type of video that you're doing, there's some research and kind of prep that you do beforehand before you post it. And I have not, it's very rare I can just post any type of video and it does numbers. Like, that's just not the case. So a little struggle there. So didn't necessarily get the 12 videos total, but 9, hey, not too shabby, right? I was about 3 videos short. And then my subscribers went up about 200. So I am at 3,600, but it's like 3,670 something. So it's very close to 700. So I'm almost about to 200 new subs. And then for my spiritual goal, I did complete some Bible readings with my church, because at the start of the year, the church that I attend, we did go on a 21-day fast, and I did participate in that. And part of that was to read a scripture, I think daily, every day. So for January, all of January, my spiritual goal was practically met. However, I will say it is in progress, because what I identified in regards to me being consistent with my spiritual goal, which is, do I have that? Is that posted in my Q1? Yeah. What I have here is I want to attend church at least 1 to 2 times a month. And then with the Bible readings, I wanted to do at least, 4 times a week. So I do not have a morning routine at all. Like, my morning routine is get up in enough time to get these kids ready for school and to go to work. That is horrible right now. And so I know, in order for me to be intentional and get better with my spiritual reading and prayer time, I got to tighten up this morning routine. However, it was really divine that the church started off with a fast at the start of the year, because I was able to kind of get those Bible readings in anyway. But now that that's gone and over with, I got to tighten up on my morning routine to, get these readings in. And even at night, like, my morning and night routine is just completely trash. I get up and then just enough time to get to work on time and get these kids ready for school. And I be up super late scrolling on my phone, and it's just a hot mess right now. So that's something I really need to improve. And it's already February 1st. So, pray for your girl. And then the other goal, which is my year-round goal, is, saving up to 10K by the end of the year. And so the last time we checked in, I was at $342.61. I'm now at 518 and 37 cents. And then the difference there, the 9,400 and something dollars, in order to get to that goal. Right now I have $350 that go to my account automatically. So that's about I think it's 175. Yeah, 175 per every 2 weeks that automatically come. Like, when I get paid, it automatically pulls from my checking account and go to my online high yield savings account, which is something that I recommend for the longest. Highly, highly recommend an online high yield savings account. I've been with Ally Bank for, I think, 2015 since 2016. They're great. So, but the goal is I want to move it from 350 to 500. And so hopefully, with me obtaining my licensure, and I do have my annual evaluation coming up, that means an increase in compensation. And if not, I am going to be intentional about, looking around, because I like to creatively give myself a raise if I'm not able to do so within my employer in a way that kind of makes sense for what I need financially. So that is small progress, but it is progress. So that is where I am right now with my goals. That is kind of like how I break my goals down, how I create action items, and how I'm very clear and direct on, intentionally putting actions forward, but also going back to where I can measure the efforts that I'm putting forward to see, like, okay, am I doing what I said I was going to do? And these are the action items that I identified to help get me there. So I want to hear from y'all. Like I said last week, I don't want to be the only one up here sharing all of my goals and just me. I want to hear from y'all, and I want to, I think there's a way I can pull people up on stage with me for you to share your goals, what strategy you're using to help your goal achievement. So if you want to hop on here and talk to the people, just drop it in the comments and let me know, all two of y'all. Let me know, because I really do. I want to hear from the community. I just don't want to be up here talking about me all the time. So I'm going to give y'all some time to drop in the comments to let me know if you want to join and share, or you can ask me a question, whether it's YouTube related, in regards to growing your YouTube channel, or if you wanted to ask me a question in regards to that, you can hop on for that as well, especially if that is your goal for the year. So just let me know in the comments and I will pull you up on stage to ask your question. Okay, I think there is a link I'm going to share in the chat. I'm going to share the link in the chat. And I believe that's the link that you can ask to be invited, on the stage. Invited guests to see. Let me see that. I don't want to talk to me. I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds. And if you are on Team Replay, you can drop your question or share your goal in the chat, and I'll make sure to answer it that way. But if you are live, I want y'all to talk to me. Come up here and talk to me. I want to know your goals. I want to know what you're working on. If you have any YouTube questions, I am here to answer that as well. But I just went through and shared my breakthrough of kind of where I am right now and my goals for my quarterly vision board strategy that I'm doing this year. And so I want to hear from y'all. I want to encourage y'all, and I want to hold you accountable. So if you want to ask me a question, YouTube related, or if you want to share your goals and even ask for some suggestions to strengthen your goals, come up on the stage and talk to me. Let me know in the chat. Or you can just, if you don't want to come on stage, just ask me in the chat and I can answer it live for you. I think it's going to be so cool when this live series that I'm doing blow up, because we're going to be checking in every week for all of 2025. I'm going to aim consistently to do that. And it's going to be so interesting to see how this live grow over time. One of the things I will say as a creator, do not get discouraged by the small numbers. Never get discouraged by the small numbers. I like to think of the analogy where they talk about the bamboo tree and how it takes 5 years before you see the bamboo tree actually sprout up out of the ground. But within those 5 years, you don't see anything. And then that 5th year, when it breaks through the ground, it shoots up and grows really fast. But within that 5-year time frame, it seems like nothing is happening. But little do you know, all up under the ground, and the seed is maturing and rooting and all of that jazz all up under there that may not be able to be seen yet, but once it finally breaks through that soil, it sprouts out. And oftentimes I feel like with the dream, especially with content creation, it's going to feel like nothing is happening. Do not get discouraged by the small numbers. Do not get discouraged by the slow growth. Slow and steady wins the race. And I have learned this on my 3 years with YouTube. I remember just having 200 subscribers, and now I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers on my channel. And I go through the motions just like you all. There's times where I just feel like, oh my gosh, what's the point? I'm posting a video, it's only getting 2-3 views, or it's only getting 1 or 2 likes, a couple of comments, but every view, every comment matters. And never get discouraged by the small numbers, because if you can show up and be consistent, the numbers will grow. Right. And it's going to be, you grow over time. There's certain things that you're going to learn and develop as you're maneuvering through this. And sometimes starting small is it's like a nice little safe haven, because, not too many people can see you mess up. So by the time you didn't master it and your audience didn't grow, you're good to go. But I definitely want to hear from at least one of you, whether you drop it in the comment or you request to come up on stage. I want to hear about your goals that you're setting for this year, what progress you're making, or if you have any questions related to YouTube where you need some help or some, insight on. I'm here live and alive to, pour into you all and, share whatever knowledge that I have to help you be successful within this 2025. Let me check here. I'm gonna give y'all some time. I usually try to keep my lives at least at 30 minutes. So I got a couple more minutes before I call it out. You see, I'm talking right now. Do not distract me. Hello. He got to be in every single live.
Oh, this is my first one.
No, you was in the other one. You walked in the background.
Oh, because I had to do something.
Matter of fact, since y'all ain't talking to me, let me talk to you. How's your goals going?
Good.
That you put up on your vision board?
Pretty good.
Which ones?
The spiritual one and the basketball one.
Okay, what progress have you made in those goals?
I mean, I had to read my Bible consistently, and it's just like I'm now realizing my bad. We're having more opportunities in basketball. So
okay. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. Huh? That was earlier already. That was Chrislyn. I already acknowledged her. All right, if an 11-year-old can do it, y'all can do it. Just either drop it in the comments or let me know. Requesting to come up here. How are you doing with your resolution, your goals that you set out, that you said you was going to do here in 2025? We're going to be checking in every week to share progress on how we are doing with our goals.
It's not described. Look at it.
You can drop it in the comments. Let me know. Trying to think if there's anything else I can share with y'all regarding my goals. No, I pretty much covered it. So Q1, if I was to kind of, rate the first month like a 1 out of 10, I would give myself a solid 8 for sure. A solid 8. Getting my LMSW was such a big deal, and I'm like so relieved that is over with. I can't wait to drop that vlog of that journey because it was a lot. And then I have a couple more Sister Lock videos. I'm actually surprised my Sister Lock videos they're not really doing what I thought they would do. Usually my Sister Lock videos does relatively well, but it's only been like a week or so. So, again, I got to remind myself, like, don't get discouraged by the low numbers, but, I don't know what's kind of happening with my channel. I had like a very overflow of views that was happening, and then it's slowing down. I feel like the YouTube videos or anything YouTube related is going to kind of be the main attraction, and I'm trying to not let that be the sole focus of my channel, because my channel is really about personal finance and mental health. And so some of that personal finance I'm able to embed with the YouTube content, because I'm able to, talk about money, because you can earn money with YouTube. So they kind of work, hand in hand. But I'm like, dang, everybody just want to hear about YouTube. So trying to figure that out. Okay, so we got a question, I believe. Okay, still working my full-time job, but wanted to start my channel, unsure what to talk about, needing financial freedom this year, focusing more on myself, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. This is a good comment, because I think I want to do a video on this. I've seen this a lot about, I don't know what to talk about. And I feel like for people that kind of don't know what to talk about and you're just starting, talk about all of it and see which one you're going to grow in and kind of pull that audience in. So Chrislyn, for example, let's say you want to talk about faith. Maybe you have some passion in gardening, and maybe you have a passion in cooking, right? So it's just like, dang, which one? These all seem very different. in the beginning stages, you can kind of, okay, maybe let me, pick out 3 videos that I can do about faith, maybe how to, find the right Bible for you, or maybe even start like, how to increase your prayer time, or how to, actually study the Bible, right? Or then you have gardening, like how to start. And I'm saying gardening because I actually want to start my own gardening this year. So this is like a little selfish plug, but how to start gardening for beginners, or how to, have a garden in your backyard, or maybe even a in home, gardening. And then for cooking, like easy meals to kind of, make on the go. In the beginning, because you don't have an audience yet, you have that freedom to explore all of your passions and let your audience kind of tell you what they want to see more of. And so, and what I will say is that you can also find a creative way to kind of embed both of them. Like, doing my morning prayer at my gardening, right? I flowered my seeds as I'm asking the Lord to, plant seeds in my heart to have a harvest or whatever. I don't know. But I feel like in the beginning, a lot of people get very caught up on like, I don't know what to talk about. It's like, what are you passionate about? What do you kind of have a interest in that you want to explore? And if it's more than one thing, you have the freedom to do that in the beginning because you don't have an audience yet, right? Especially if you're in the beginning of starting your channel is not known for this one thing, and then you're trying to pivot into something else, which is what I'm finding myself in. Like, I started off as personal finance, and it wasn't until, I want to say, last year when I got my sister logs, I'm like, you know what? I want to talk about my sister logs too. And I kind of found a way to kind of incorporate it, like, hey, this is how much money I spent on my sister logs, how I budgeted, how I kind of put it together, which still kind of touched a little bit on the personal finance a little bit, but I was able to still kind of talk about something that I was interested in, which was hair. And so one of the things that I'm finding a more kind of interesting, quote unquote, trend on YouTube is that you are the brand, right? It doesn't matter what you talk about, people are going to buy into you. And what I will say, starting out, and I feel like over time, yes, you will get to that point, but starting out, it's like, what can I talk about that I am actually interested about, and that's kind of teachable or entertaining, that people are going to want to gravitate towards and listen to. Because one of the big things in regards to YouTube, the biggest like niches, if you will, is entertainment and education. So if there's something that, and when you think of education, you don't have to be a professor or a certified teacher to teach something. It's just, in educating you, I'm sharing my experience. So this is how I've done it. This is what I've learned, and I'm sharing it with you. Like, you don't have to be an educator to educate on YouTube. And I do a lot of that. A lot of my videos are educational. Like, I shared about how I'm growing on YouTube, what I've done that's worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Other YouTubes that I follow and that kind of gave me some helpful information. So I'm teaching, but I'm not like, coining myself as the YouTube go-to to learn how to start YouTube from scratch. It's just, I'm sharing my experience, which you're able to learn from by watching me. So don't get, too caught up on like, what do I talk about? It's like, okay, if you want to start YouTube, what's drawing you to YouTube? Why do you want to start a YouTube channel in the first place, right? Like, what is it that I want to talk about? And if it's just, you don't have a topic at all, or maybe there's multiple things you want to talk about and you don't know which one to choose, I say do them all, right? At minimum, at least 3 different topics, and find at least 3 to 4 videos that you can do on that particular topic. And for the example, if it was faith, food, and gardening, what are 4 or so videos that I can do to kind of, test out what people will gravitate to? Okay, I dabble in makeup a little. DIY projects is organization. I watch numerous of videos, and some say get a specific niche. Others say just start and talk about whatever. Don't want to be all over the place. Well, it's either don't want to be all over the place and not take any action, or be all over the place and take an action and just figure out what's working, right? It's like, in the beginning, it's going to feel like that. It's going to feel like you're all over the place because you don't know what you don't know yet. And if you allow that to allow you to not take any action, because right now, if I'm not mistaken, you're not taking any action, right? It's like, I don't want to be all over the place, but you're not starting. So if these are your topics, like I said, try a couple of videos in the makeup, try a couple of videos in the DIY, try a couple of videos in the organization, right? And one of the things that is going to be the most important that you need to learn is how to understand the creation process of YouTube, because regardless of what genre you pick and kind of double down on, you need to know how to create on YouTube. So that's, prepping before your video, whether it be outlining your video, what recording are you going to do? Are you going to start with your phone? I recommend starting with your phone. The first time I got monetized, all of my videos started on my iPhone. You do not need a fancy camera. What editing software are you going to use to edit your phone? On my video, I talk about InShot. I still use InShot whenever I, record from my phone. The video that I'm going to drop about my journey to testing for my LMSW, I recorded on my phone. I'm using InShot now to kind of piece it together. And, that's just a free, easy tool that you can always use. And then understanding on the back end, after I recorded the video, how do I upload the video on there? The keywords that I need to put on the back end. So regardless of whatever genre you're going to follow, you need to understand the creation process on YouTube. And the more you kind of stay stuck on, I don't want to be all over the place, you're not taking any action and you're kind of prolonging that learning process to actually get started. So I say pick one. For now, if you feel a little bit overwhelmed, pick one that you feel the most passionate about and just do at least, 12 or so videos to see what's going to work. But I think the biggest thing you need to focus on in the beginning is understanding the YouTube creation process, because regardless of what topic you pick, you're going to want to figure out, what is my rhythm of creation? Like, how do I get in my creative flow and understanding the back end of stuff, but kind of just sitting and just being like, I don't know what to do. You're never going to take any action, and keep contemplating. It's prolonging the learning process. I just remember what you said. That's it. Do them all and see which one works. Yeah. We don't have to make it complicated. And sometimes that's part of the creation process. It may be a little bit more fun than you think, right? I think one of the things that kind of helped me a little bit better in my YouTube process is figuring out ways where I can just be myself more and not get so caught up in just the logistics of it. Yes, it's important, right? Because a lot of us, we're starting YouTube, whether it be a creation outlet or we're trying to figure out how to make, some money on the side. Like we see all of these people talking about all this money that's great on YouTube, which actually I need to do a revenue report on January because it's been interesting. I did get a promotion, the promotion that I said I wanted to get, but it's interesting. You can't quit your job overnight with YouTube. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. It definitely is. You got to start planting those seeds. And the longer you wait to plant those seeds, they're never gonna grow. So it's like, figure just my biggest advice for you or anybody who just like, I don't know what to do. I want you to get more mastered at the process of creating. Because regardless of what topic that you're going to pick, when you master the process of creating, it's going to come easier to you. But if you never started YouTube, you've never done a video, you're going to have to, do the editing, the uploading, and then on the back end, when you have to put your title and your thumbnail, there's so many of the mechanics that's behind the scene that's more than the topic, right? So it's just like, pick a topic and just kind of get your reps in. And in the beginning, it may flop. Like you may not get the results that you're looking for, but you're not going to be where you're starting. You're going to be in the beginning, like, I have no YouTube experience. I've never edited video before. I never created a thumbnail, to actually, okay, my videos didn't, blow up, but now I know how to edit a video. I know how to create a thumbnail. I know how to, do keyword research. And that's something I can strengthen and get better at over time. You have to allow yourself to kind of grow as you're figuring out what is your niche in the beginning. But regardless of what you pick, that YouTube creation process is going to be key. But awesome question. But we got to take some action, sis. We got to take some action. And if you hear next week, I want you to come check in next Saturday and let us know so your starting point is no, and I'm assuming, I don't know if you got a YouTube channel yet, but let's say you don't got a YouTube channel, no YouTube channel, no video posted. By next week, you should have at least one video posted, at least one. Don't let another 7 days go by. You haven't posted anything. Post at least one YouTube video. What's the best app to use for editing? I told you, InShot. Use InShot, especially if you're on your phone. Use InShot. It's free. I would say start with your phone. So if you already have a phone, especially if you have an iPhone, the camera quality is good. Download InShot. It's a free app to use. Start with your phone. I wouldn't even get a camera because it's overly complicated and it's going to slow you down even more. I just want you to start getting the reps in of starting the creation process, especially if you're a beginner. Like you got to get the creation. You got to build those creation muscles. Okay, but awesome question. I really feel like I need to do a video on that because I've seen a lot of comments like, I don't know what to talk about, or I don't know, I got so many ideas and I don't know which one to pick. And I really didn't think about that kind of being the starting point for people. It's just like, okay, getting started, but some people really don't even know what to talk about first. So yeah, I think I might do a video on that. But next week you need at least one video up, Chrislyn. You better come in here and check with me because I'm gonna be looking. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write your handle down. I'm gonna be watching you, girl. One video, either on makeup, a DIY, or organization, whichever one. And you watch, you do what I do. I usually are going to gravitate towards videos that you actually enjoy watching. There's some videos I enjoy watching, but I wouldn't enjoy creating. But I like watching them. But the videos that I do create, I watch the people that are successful. I watch what they do, and I watch, how they cover it. But you want to make it your own, but it gives you ideas. If you have, for a makeup idea, maybe you watch somebody's video, like, how to have a beat face under $15, and you show all of the makeups that you got out of the, drugstore that's less than $50, but you looking like, glam cam out, So no, no, it's not. Is it necessary to make first video an intro video? I have almost 4,000 subscribers. I do not have an intro video. You have less than 30 seconds to grab the attention of the viewer. Less than 30 seconds. They don't care about that intro video. Some channels do it. It's cute. It's nice. But you have less than 30 seconds to grab the viewer's attention. And in your analytics, which is another thing, part of the YouTube creation process, you have to learn, because you'll see, like, okay, your videos are not doing good. Your analytics are going to show you why. And one of the things that YouTube shows you in your metrics is what's happening within that first 30 minutes. Is there a spike or is there a drop? Right? So if I'm telling people, if my video is going to be about, how to, beat your face with less than $15, like, oh, really? What kind of makeup is you buying? I want to see. And then I start off with intro, look at me, all up my face. It's like, girl, get to the point. Next, I'm out. Right? So you don't need an intro video. It's not necessary. You got less than 30 seconds to grab the viewer's attention. You want to make it impactful. And I talk about this. If y'all go on my playlist, I got a YouTube playlist. Just go. If you want to figure out your strategy, or if you want to figure out what I've done. I mean, I'm not at 10K yet, but this has been working for me. Rinse and repeat, right? If you want to figure out everything I'm doing, check out that YouTube playlist on my channel. I talk about this stuff, and I go and I show. There's one video where I go into my YouTube analytics, because there were sometimes I would get frustrated, like, dang, like, what's up? Like, why my video ain't? And I go through and I'm reading. I'm like, oh, okay. YouTube tells you, like, you gotta become a student. But in order for you to kind of get better at YouTube, you got to start the creation process. So no, I do not recommend an intro video. A lot of times for YouTubers that I've already grown to like, and they have an intro video, I let it play, or I'll just skip over it. But think about, what I like to call your superpower, how you engage as a viewer. Like, do I really enjoy intro videos? Do I find them to be helpful? Or am I kind of like, okay, get to the point? Like, sometimes the behavior of the audience is you. Like, how do you feel drawn or engaged to actually click and watch a video? The next video that you watch, I want you to analyze it from a creator's perspective and be like, okay, what drew me to this video? Why did I click this video? Why did I stay on this video? How did this video get me to stay from beginning to end? Right? Like, pay attention to your own behavior as a viewer, because that's the gold mine for real. Like, everything that you need to know, you started off as a consumer first before being a creator. And honestly, to me, that's the best place to start. Like, I'm starting off as a consumer. I love to be on YouTube. I'm watching YouTube. And now I have to, as a creator, I have to be a little bit more intuitive on, why am I watching the videos that I'm watching? Like, what is it that this creator did? Was it the title? If it was the title, what was their wordplay, right? If it was a thumbnail, what did I like about the thumbnail? If it was the content, what kept me engaged? What kept me watching? Is important. But no, you don't need an intro. 30 seconds. I got 30 seconds to grab this viewer's attention. 30 seconds. Awesome questions. Any more questions? All 5 of y'all up in here. Any more questions, whether it be YouTube related, goal related? At the beginning of this video, I just went through my goals for the first quarter. We're already 1 month down. Again, happy Black History Month. We are at the beginning of February. We're going to continue to take consistent action. Consistent action is what's going to bring us eventually results or data on what we need to do to get to the results. Because sometimes you could be consistently doing the wrong thing. You can be consistently doing the wrong thing, and you won't know that unless you take action. So we got to, take action, review, and analyze. It's all important in the name of the game of achieving what you believe in. Any more questions? Comments? Any wins? Anybody have any wins the first month of the year? My win was I obtained my LMSW. I'm so happy about that. I've been putting that off for 8 years, y'all. 8 years I put off getting my LMSW. It's a long story. I think I talk about it a little bit in the my vlog that I'm going to drop about it. But I put that off for so long, and to finally achieve it was just confirmation to me, like, girl, like, you're competent, you belong in this field. I am in my formal education, a social worker, mental health therapist. I worked with various populations, and now to kind of move into be a licensed therapist, it's a big deal. As a social worker, next step is to get my clinicals where I can be like an independent license. I don't necessarily have to be under supervision when providing therapy, but to move into this space as a licensed professional in the field, it's a big deal. So that was my win for January. That was a huge win for me. I'm like, it was one of those things like, what? Finally! And to be able to take that test one time and pass it the first time, because I was scared. Thank you. Appreciate the love. I want to hear, do you have any wins for the first month of January? Let me know. What was your win in January? Take a couple of seconds to think about that. Like, what was a win? Because sometimes, we'll keep focusing on like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, but not really taking time to like smell the roses and celebrate what actually was a win for me this month. Right? What was my win? I want to hear it. I don't want to just be talking about me. I want to hear from y'all. What was a win for you this in January? 1 month down, 11 months to go in 2025. And other numbers to count down. 1 month down. And I'm trying to think how to do the math. 4 years and 11 months, right? I don't know. With Orange Man. We got a long time. That's a longer countdown. Maybe it'll end sooner than we think. But yeah, 1 month down in 2025. What was your win? I'm gonna end it there. It's 6 of y'all. Can 2 of y'all just tell me? I know I ain't the only one in the winning season. Somebody won something. Something accomplished, or even progress that you're really happy about. Maybe you just started something that could be counted as a win. It doesn't have to be completed. It could be, I finally started my YouTube channel, or I finally started to go for a walk to, improve my health, or I finally picked up a book that I was supposed to read months ago. It doesn't have to be completed. Maybe a win is you just started something. Focusing on myself and blessed to see another year, my birthday. Well, happy birthday. Yes, that is a win. That definitely is a win. Especially with everything going now, just to wake up in the next day is really a win and a blessing, because you just never know. And the way things have been happening in this world, it's been crazy. So that's a huge win for all of us, waking up just to see another day. Thank you for sharing that. One more. It's 5 of y'all in here. Don't don't be what is it, the word I'm looking for? Don't be watching in silence. I want to hear from y'all. One more. Give me one more win. And then I'm gonna get up out of y'all face and allow y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. And then if you're on the replay, that's okay. Still drop your wins in the comments, because I read all of the comments. One thing I will do on this YouTube is I'm gonna read every comment and I'm gonna reply to every comment or delete a comment that just be it'd be some weird people on YouTube, y'all. I think I need to do a video on that as well, because there is a level of like mental resilience that you need to have when you're out here just, sharing stuff and kind of, being vulnerable to a certain extent, because people be peopling and some people is weird. For the most part, I would say the majority of the engagement that I have on my channel has been amazing, but I have like a small little couple of, weird ones that's just like block, delete. I literally had to block somebody last week. They would comment a lot on my videos and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, he's supporting. Then the comments got real weird and then they try to shoot their shot, and it was just it was too much. And sorry, bye, block. But yeah, I don't think nobody really talks about that on YouTube, like the mental resilience you need to have. With especially as you're growing, everybody wants to grow, which is cool, but as you grow, both good and bad is coming your way, especially in the comments. Like, but one thing that's powerful and cool about YouTube is you control the comments. So people get to talking crazy, delete, goodbye, nice try. But on a positive note, I do want to hear y'all wins. I'm gonna get on up out of here because I'm hungry and a little tired. And I need to find something. I need to make sure I laugh before I go to sleep, because I got on here super late because today was hard. Today was emotionally draining. And so what I have been trying to do, because, for those of us who live in the States, there's just so much that's going on literally like by the hour. Like, I'm not a huge news person, but my YouTube feed is like, it's almost like inevitable. I'm getting like Trump news, or I'm getting news that is happening, stuff that's going on in the in our government, executive orders that's being passed, what is actually can be done, what can't be done, and just the attack on just minorities in general from all it's a lot. And when you get pulled in and consumed, and YouTube, that's one thing I don't like about YouTube. You watch one video and it's just like, oh, you like this, and it keeps feeding it to you, and it's like, I watched one video about Trump, I don't want to see this orange man all over my screen. It is traumatizing. So I'm being intentional about finding just like mental escapes. And so I love Jessie Woo YouTube channel. She does a lot of like like popular news, and then she like watches shows and kind of does like her reaction in real time. And there's a bunch of shows that I don't even watch, but I love watching her reactions to those shows because she's hilarious. And so like I'll just go and binge her. Who else? I like watching Tony Gaskin's reactions to the Pop the Balloon. That man, which is so interesting because a lot of Tony Gaskin's videos is very serious, relationship, the Lord, but it's been really interesting to see like a more humorous side of him as he's like watching and giving commentary. I'm like, he a little comedian on the low. Like that's been a nice mental escape. I'm actually going to check out some of his Pop the Balloon reviews after I get up off this live with y'all, because those are hilarious. And the Pop the Balloon show is really a very interesting social experiment on the dating scene and all of that jazz. But all right, I ain't gonna talk y'all ear off. If y'all caught me on the replay, let me know what was your win for this month. And if it's something that's important, it's like, what, I'm still alive, we're gonna count that. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, same day next week, Saturday. Don't know what time. Eventually I would like to commit to a time, especially I feel like consistency is the key. But me just being up here is the goal. It's just like, no matter what, I need to get up on this live on a Saturday. And so I will be here again next week, Lord willing, and we'll chat again. And Chrislyn, yeah, I need to find, I don't got nothing in front of me. I need to write your handle down, because you're gonna have one video up by next week, right? Right. So you're going to be sharing that with us. So whatever it be, whether it be makeup, DIYs, or organization, just pick one and turn the camera on. Let me see how you spell that. C-R-Y. C-R-Y-N-G. Okay. I'm gonna be looking for you next week, ma'am. But all right, until next time, dream, believe, and achieve.